16th of April, Rabbi Levitt, 10 plagues.
Okay, so
The last thing I think you said was that Bereshis represents the creation of time.
right, right, and somehow in this sefer by from Rabbi Gladstein, it says that the Makas Bechoros, the 10th Makkah, was corresponding to the first mimer of Bereshis Bara Elokim, and I didn't I didn't follow. I didn't see any real explanation of that in the Sefer. So I was told that I could email Rabbi Gladstein and he'll get back to me on that. So in the meantime, I haven't done that. So we're wait. So we're a couple steps away from uh, getting some clarification on that. But in the meantime, I thought that what would be a good idea is that when we talk about Pesach, we talk about Emuna, and the definitive statement on Pesach and Emuna is the the words of the Ramban. Maybe Rabbi First already learned this with you, but there's a Ramban at the end of Parshas Bo, which is the definitive statements of on this matter. So I thought we would go through this.
Um,
Do you have a Ramban on the Torah?
um, Ramban. Um, I think I have
If you have a Mikras Gedolis,
yeah, I think I have a Mikros Kedolos. Let me see if I can find it.
in Sefer Shmos.
Most. Okay, great. Thanks. Not only do I have it, but I have one that has English.
Oh, okay.
English.
Which one's that? Oh, wow. Oh, you got the Ramban, the art scroll.
Yeah, Baruch Hashem.
You have the whole set?
No, just these two. I have another set. I have the whole set of this one,
What's that? Hos Bahadar.
but this
Yeah.
one doesn't have any English in it. It's got lots of commentaries, though. It's got lots of different commentaries,
Yeah, very nice.
but unfortunately, I can't read them.
Okay.
So between that and this, I've got the whole thing covered.
Yeah, that's a very yeah, I think Art Scroll put out about I think they had to write 10 different books just to cover the commentary of the Ramban a la Torah.
Right. Well, these two are Shemos, so yeah, that makes sense.
Great. So this is so we could see what they have to say. um, so this is take take the Ramban in Sefer Shmos from Parshas Bo. So that's the Shmos Ve'era Bo. It's the third parsha in Sefer Shmos.
Got it?
And go to the very end of the parsha. And it's actually the last part of the last pasuk that he comments on, which is Yud Gimel Tez Zayin, chapter. In other words, Shmos Parshas Bo, chapter 13, pasuk Tes Zayin, verse 16. Uletotivos beinenecha. He's talking about tefillin.
Right. Let's see. I think I've got it here. Yeah, here's 11, 12, 13, 14, 16. Here's 16. And it shall be a sign upon your arm and Tosaphos between your eyes.
Yeah. So
commentary on this. Wow.
yeah. This is a so the like the first I guess the 20 lines or more, maybe even more is just talking about he's talking about this word totophos. What is this word totophos all about? It's not really a Lashon HaKodesh word even. He says, but when he gets up to the point, he says, "V'ata omer lecha klal betam mitzvahs rabos." He says, "Now I'm going to tell you a big principle in the reason for many, many mitzvahs."
So this is in the commentary?
This is in the commentary of the Ramban, yeah. In other words, the beginning of this comment that the Ramban has is it says, "Ein lemila zos mishpacha yedua." This word does not have a family which is known.
Oh. Huh.
So he goes on about this, about the etymology of the word totophos,
Right.
for about 20 lines until he gets to the words vi'ata, and now Omer Lecha, I'm going to tell you klal b'tam mitzvahs rabos, a overriding foundationary principle in for many many mitzvahs.
I found what you're looking at.
Okay. Okay, so so maybe I'll read the actual words of the Ramban and translate them as best as I can, and then you could supplement that with the comments of the art scroll on what he says and
Sounds good.
okay, so good. So hine me'es heyos avodas gilulim ba'olam mimei enosh, from the time of avodah zora in the days of Enosh. Enosh was one from the early generations in after Adam Arishon. Goes back a long way. Echelu hadeos lihishtabesh be'amuna. The whole concept of what it is emuna underwent a shibush. A shibush is a mix-up. things got mixed up. People got mixed up. Mehem kofrim be'ikr. There were some that were even kofrim be'ikr. They did not even have any emunah whatsoever in the existence of Hashem. The omrim ki olam kadmon, that the world it was always here. It wasn't created by Hashem. Chas v'sholom, sheker v'kozov. That's just my hyperbole on what they say.
Right.
Kichashu b'Hashem v'yomru lohu. They denied Hashem, and they said, lohu, he is not. Like Paro. Basically, what Paro said when Moshe Rabbeinu first came to Paro, and he said to Paro, listen, Yud-Kei Vav-Kei, Hashem, the God of the Jews, commands you to let his people go and serve him in the desert. And Paro said, Yud-Kei Vav-Kei, who is that? I don't know who that is. If I don't know who that is, I'm certainly not going to listen to what you say that he tells me to do. So that was the beginning. But Paro wasn't the first one to say that. In other words, this goes back many generations. Umehem makchishim biyadiato hapratit v'yomru ika yeda kale v'yesh dea be'elyon umehem sheyodu biyadia umakchishim ba'ashkocha. Okay, so now he's going to a different category of people that don't have proper emunah. He says that they even though they believe that there was a creation, they're not like the first group, but they say that they dispute Hashem's. Oh, Meir's coming in. Oh, what a treat! We're going to have a zimun. If you're eating matzah during this time, we could have a zimun. No, just kidding. Actually, we'd have to be in the. I don't think you could have a zimun based upon 3 people being on Zoom.
It would be a Zoom on.
Oh boy, that's a good one.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Mayor. A good moyed. Moedim b'simcha to you. Nice to see you.
Absolutely. Glad to be here.
So we're now tackling the famous Ramban, Sof Parshas Bo.
Oh, hold it. Parshas Bo, Ramban. That's in, I have to go get it. I don't think I have it here. Okay, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm late.
So let's just continue, and then we'll go over it again when Meir comes back. Be'ez Hashem. They dispute his knowledge, Hashem's knowledge. Hapratit. They dispute his knowledge of individual events that happen in the world. The Omer, when they say Ika Yeda Kale V'yesh Dea Be'elyon. Okay. There is knowledge to Hashem, and there is knowledge to the I'm actually not sure exactly what it is that he's saying over here. Let's just read the sentence to the end. Umehem shel yodu b'yediah. There's those that admit to Hashem's knowledge of everything that goes on in the world. u'makchishim ba'ashkocha. So he's going he's going in shlavim. He's going in steps. The steps, the different categories of disbelievers in Hashem. People that maybe will not be so harsh in categorizing them like that. Except for the first category, they're absolute disbelievers in Hashem's existence. So that's one thing. But then there's those that even though they believe he exists, meaning that he created the world, that's what it means that they believe in Hashem. But they don't believe that he knows everything about what happens, or even if they they believe that he knows everything that happens, they say that he doesn't keep tabs on what's going on in the world. He doesn't. They dispute the whole idea of hashkocha pratis, of divine providence in the world. Mayor, we're reading from the it's Shmos Yud Gimel Pasuk Tez Zayin.
Oh, you Gimel. Okay.
Shmos Yud Gimel Pasuk Tez Zayin, and Dibur Maskel Ulatotifos Bein Einecha Tefillin.
That's a big.
Yeah, this is a big one. So the first 20 lines or so, or maybe even more than that, he's talking about the etymology of the word totifos. So we're skipping that.
Oh, okay.
But when we get to the part where it says Ve'ata omer lecha klal b'tam mitzvus rabbos, I'm now going to tell you a overriding foundationary principle in the reason for mitzvahs.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay, so first he starts talking about the different the shibush that happened already from the time of Enosh in people's belief system and their understanding of who Hashem is and what it is that he does. V'yasu Adam k'degei hayam shelo yashkiach hakel behem, and they make and they think that Hashem relegates man to the status of fish in the ocean, meaning that what they're at the absolute impunity of the ocean. Whatever happens, he doesn't get involved. In other words, shelo yashkiach hakel behem. He doesn't. There's no providence over man. Ve'ein imohem onish oschar, and there's not even such a thing as reward or punishment for a person's actions. Yomru asov Hashem es haaretz. They say Hashem has forsaken the world. Chas v'sholom, sheker v'kozov. Ukasher yiratzeh elukim be'eda o be'yochid v'yase imahem mofes v'shuni shinui minhago shel olam. And when when Hashem has a certain ritzui, that he has a desire for a community of people, or even a singular individual, and he does for them a mofes b'shinui minhago shel olam, and he changes around his way of dealing with them. The tivoy yisbarer l'kol bittul hadeos ha'ela kulam. What that does is it creates a nullification of these false this false belief system that people have. Ki amofes hanifla moreh sheyesh la'olam elokah. Because a mofes, we'll define what a mofes is. A mofes is like a wondrous occurrence, what we would call a miracle. Something that, so to speak, is a departure from the way of the world and the laws of nature. And then people conclude that, oh, if such a thing happened, then that means that there's someone up there who's involved. That means yesh la'olam elokah. That means that the world has a God. Machadshoy v'yodea u'mashkiach v'yachol. Three things that Hashem does. He's machadesh, the world. He creates the world anew every moment. There's no such thing as a teva that means that, oh, well, if that's the way the situation is right now, so then that obligates that the situation is going to be like this a moment later, a day later, a week later. No, there's no such a thing. In one instance, the Metzius, the whole existence can change on its head. And that's because Hashem is Machadesh. The Yodea, and he knows what goes on in the world. He knows what people do. He knows everything. Umashkiach, and he has divine providence over everyone and everything in the world. The Yachol, and he is totally capable of changing the way that the world seems to be running on its own according to the laws of nature. Is there anything that you want to read to us, Lou, so far?
No, it pretty much just says what you're saying.
Okay. Where Lou has the art scroll Ramban, so they have all they have a lucid translation, as well as very illuminating notes on the bottom about different things that the Ramban says. So we'll be referring to him.
I've been reading the footnotes, and they're just amplifying what you said.
Okay. Ukasher yeh hamofes hahu nigzar techila mipi navi. Oh, and now when this mofes, when this wondrous occurrence is predicted beforehand from the mouth of a prophet, a navi. In other words, what does the navi do? The navi comes and he tells the people, he says, Hashem told me that X is going to happen. Hashem, the creator of the world, the one who's in charge, the one who's mashkiach, the one who's a yachol, the one who's yodea, the one who's mechadesh. He told me that the following thing is going to happen, and then it happens. Yisbarer mimenu od amitas hanavua ki yadaber Elokim es ha'adam. Now, an additional point of emunah comes into the world, which is that Hashem speaks to his chosen ones. He speaks to his prophets, and he tells the prophet what he wants people to know, and he has that's a real connection that Hashem has with the world and with people.
Except we know from the story of Eliyahu Hanavi at Mount Carmel, Hashem performed that miracle, and within, I think, 3 days, they all went back to Avodah Zarah.
That's what happens to all of us, unfortunately. So what do we say? We say, okay, for 3 days, they were so possessed by the emes that they actually acted according to it. And then after 3 days, the Yitzhar said, what do you think? You think that was real? It was just, he's a magician, Moshe Rabbeinu. And then they just, because that's what they want to believe in any case. They don't want to have to fess up to the fact that there's a Shem who commands them what they have to do. So, so of course, that's what happens. And it even happens to people that believe in Hashem and are shomer Torah mitzvahs.
Right. But we have the concept.
What?
We have another concept that comes into that story.
Yeah.
I remember exactly where it's documented, but it says that Eliyahu fled and he went to a cave, and a bunch of stuff happened in that cave with the big wind and fire and different stuff. And then Hashem came with a very quiet voice.
Oh, it's the still voice, right?
Yeah, and it's that quiet voice that was very significant. Not the big boom like the miracle at the mountain with the carbon burning up, even though there was all the water and everything. But a small, quiet voice. That's what Hashem gives us to maintain our faith.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay.
In Kings 1, I think. Pasuk 19, maybe.
Oh, is that where it's from?
I think so.
Kol Demama Daka.
The Kol Demama Daka, right?
That's the small, quiet voice?
Yeah. It translates, it's still small voice of God.
Right. Very good, Mayor. Thank you. Tell me again what it was. I want to write it down. Kings?
Okay, hold it. I have Kings 1. Looks like chapter 19. Does it have a pasuk though? Hold on a second. Yeah, I don't see a pasuk.
Malachim. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, 19. I know I have 1 to 8, but that's when Eliyahu flees from Isabel. So maybe that's where it is. I don't know exactly. I don't have my Kings in here.
Yeah, I see it. It's
Oh, you got it? Good.
yeah. I'm getting up to the pasuk. Yeah, I don't see the pasuk. It's somewhere.
Let me see if I can go back.
Yeah, here it is. Chapter 12, verse 12.
Oh, it's verse 12. Oh, okay.
Yeah. It says, after the earthquake, a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. After the fire, a still small voice.
Uh-huh.
Who heard it? He wrapped his face in his mantle and went out, and stood in the entrance of the cave. And behold, there a voice came to him and said, and then it goes on. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Okay. Shkoyach to Meir.
Yep. I see it too now.
So that seems to imply to me that it's not through miracles that that we make our connection to Hashem.
Well, he's gonna address this issue. We're gonna see what he has to say about this.
Okay.
See how it works. That's exactly what he's going to tell us. Okay, so when kasher yeh hamofes ahu nigzar tchila mipi navi, when this wondrous occurrence is foretold by a navi, is bar mimenu od amitas anavua, that clarifies to people that there is the truth of nevuah, prophecy. Ki yadaber, what is prophecy? Ki yadaber Elokim esa adam, that Hashem speaks with man. Vigala sodo elavod of anavim, and he reveals his hidden matters to the prophets. V'tis kayem imzeh haTorah kula, and with this is a fulfillment of the entire Torah.
Wow.
And he's going to explain how that is. I think so. That's what he's going to do. Ulechein yorma akosuf b'mofsim leman teda ki ani Hashem b'ker ba'aretz. And that's why it says in the pasuk, in regard to the wondrous things that happen in Mitzrayim, this is a pasuk in Shmos. We're going to see they bring down it's verse 18 in chapter 8 in Sefer Shmos, that Moshe Rabbeinu told Paro that when you see that Hashem is going to do these makos, you're going to know Laman Teda, in order that you should know Ki ani Hashem b'kereb haaretz, that I am Hashem. And what's it mean that I'm Hashem? I'm not Hashem in the heavens. I'm Hashem b'kereb haaretz. I'm also Hashem in the midst of the land. I have to do with what goes on in the land. I didn't forget about the land. I don't forsake the land. I'm very involved. Laharos al hashkacha. This teaches on the fact that Hashem is mashkiach. He's the one who's overlooking and overseeing what's going on in the world, and there's divine providence. What does it mean, divine providence? That Hashem is guiding the events of the world. Kiloi ozav oso lemikrim kedaatom. And so this is proving that Hashem has not forsaken man in the world like fish in the sea, to just to mikrim, to chance and happenstance, and whatever happens. Kedaatom, like they think. The Omar, and then there's another pasuk in the also Moshe Rabbeinu talking to Paro, and that it says, "Laman teda ki lashem haaretz," and these set of makkos are going to tell you ki ani Hashem, ki lashem haaretz, that the whole land is Hashem's. Like we write in a sefer, when we buy a sefer, we write on the top of the inside of the thing, we say Lashem haaretz u'maloa, pasuk in Tehillim. To Hashem is the land and everything that's in it, meaning to say that He has total control and knowledge and ability about everything that happens in the world. This is the three sets of makos that the Haggadah attributes to Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yehuda said the makos can be categorized into three different events, three different principles of emunah. And the Malbim speaks this out in his commentary to the Chumash, that there were three lamans corresponding to the three sets of makos of Rabbi Yehuda. That ki ani Hashem b'kereb haaretz, ki lashem haaretz. Oh, and now he's going to do the next one. Lahoros ala chidosh ki heim shalo shaborom me'ayin. This teaches the world that Hashem is constantly the chidush. Hashem was the one who created the world, and He continues to be the one who is constantly recreating the world, like we learned in Nefesh HaChaim. Kihem Shalom. The world and everything that's in it are His. Shabaram me'ayin. He created them from nothingness. The Amar Bavur Teda, and here's the third statement that Moshe Rabbeinu said. Laman Bavur Teda ki ein kamoni b'kol haaretz. And this Makkah is for you to know that there is no one, no thing, no being that is anything like me in the entire world. Ein kamoni. Okay, that's chapter 9, pasuk Yud Daled. Okay. Lahoros al hayacholis shehu shalit bakol. This teaches the Mitzrim. It teaches Klal Yisrael. It teaches the entire world that Hashem is basically can do whatever it is that He wants to do. There's nothing. Ki pole me Hashem davar. That's what Hashem told. What's that mean? Is there anything which is removed from Hashem? When Hashem mentioned to Avram Avinu that Sarah laughed when she heard the Malachim tell Avram that they're going to have a child, and she laughed, so it's like in disbelief. And Hashem told Avram, and He said, she should know, and everyone should know, and you should know, because there's nothing that Hashem is not capable of doing. If Hashem wants to give a son to Avram Avinu, even though he's almost 100 years old and his wife is almost 90 years old, so then he can do that.
Mm.
And we saw something similar to that very, very recently with the Rosh Hashiva, Rav Tzvi Kushalevsky. 88, a man 88 years old. Unbelievable.
Yeah, he had a child?
Yeah, you didn't hear about that?
No.
Oh, this happened, I think, last year. And he's American born, Rosh Hashiva in a yeshiva in Har Nof, and he lost his first wife like 6 years ago, and he remarried a woman who was I don't know how old she was exactly, not 88, but not a spring chicken either.
Mm-hmm.
Also, well past the age of childbearing by the accounts of doctors, for sure. But Rav Tzvi said afterwards that he never, ever gave up on having a child. This was his first child. He never had a child.
Wow.
Yeah, it was quite a. If you go online, you'll see that it was a big thing. They probably have clips about it. The bris was attended by like literally thousands of people.
What was his name again exactly?
Rav Tzvi Kushalevsky. You spell it KushLevsky, I think.
Yeah, it's in on the internet. They have an article in Mishpacha magazine about it.
Mishpacha.
Yeah.
There's a book about it too, maybe even more than one.
Tzvi Kushalevsky's wife.
Amazing.
And it's the second wife, I guess. Sarah Leah was his first cousin.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that.
That's what Google says.
Uh-huh.
And his wife was 57.
Wow.
That is old for having a baby.
That is quite old for having a baby.
Okay, so shall we continue?
You got 2 minutes.
Oh, 2 minutes. Okay, we'll continue for 2 minutes. The Omer Bavur Teda ki ein kamoni b'chol haaretz. So these makos I think this was the seventh, eighth, and the ninth one. We're for that you should know that there's no one like me in all the land. Laharos al yacholis shehu shalit bakol. Hashem's abilities teaches that He is mastery over everything that there is in the world. Ein ma'akev biyado. There is nothing that He's not able to do. Ki b'kol zeh hayu hamitzrim makchishim o mistapkim. Because in all of these principles of Emunah, the Mitzrim denied or were in doubt about. Imkein, ha'osos, v'hamofsim, ha'gedolim, edim nemonim. And if so, then these signs and wonders, these great signs and wonders, were witnesses, were trustworthy witnesses. Be'emunas habore, ubetorah kula, in the true emunah in the Creator and in the entire Torah itself. In other words, the authenticity of the Torah. Because when you have a Navi, so then you have the principle that Hashem told Moshe Rabbeinu what it says in the Torah. And Moshe Rabbeinu is telling us what Hashem said in the Torah. He's not making it up because he spoke to Hashem. Otherwise, if you don't have Nevuah, how do you know what Hashem told you to do? Okay, so we got up to over here.
Rabbi, thank you so much.
Very good. Yeshkayach, yes.
Okay. Pleasure. Everybody have a wonderful Chol Hamoed.
Okay. See you tomorrow, Mitzvah Hashem.
Okay, Bezrat Hashem. Bli neder, Bez Hashem. Same time, same station.
Okay.
Okay, Yashikoyak to Meir for that Marimakum and Sefer Malachim.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.